All right, my fellow agents, welcome back. It is I, X7, your master of martial arts, and the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today is Saturday, and that means Shaolin Saturday. And I'm going to work on this screen card here, maybe make it a little more evocative. But we are going to be in Shaolin for the majority of this movie. And you're going to hear me do something very unusual today about a Shaw Brothers movie. The Disciples of the 36th Chamber, which is a sequel to both the 36th Chamber of Shaolin and Return to the 36th Chamber. But before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this movie. Let me know if you think the same way I do. I'm sure Blake will have a thought or two. He already has. But anyone else that leaves a comment, I always appreciate them. Now, having said that, let's dive into this movie. Judo chop. So, I got this copy from the Internet Archive. It was dubbed in English, and that didn't help. So, this movie, Disciples of the 36th Chamber, is set with um, in mostly in and around whenever that it's a teenaged Fong Sayuk or Fong Shiyu, even though the dub calls him Fang constantly. It's not the best dub. By now, the dubs that we heard from the 70s to the early 80s have kind of gone away. And the dubbers have either left the country or aged out. Ted Thomas is probably still there, but he can't do everything. So it has some subtitles here and there for cards. We see Fong defeating Tiger Lee, getting his vengeance. And then there's his mom, played by Lily Lee, who is excellent. Not the standard Kara Hu that Lau Kar Lung always likes. But there she is. And then you see fight choreographers, which is a little different, but Lau Kar Lung is there. I'm sure he has. And it was written and directed by Lau Kar Lung. Now, so the blame for this movie goes on him because there's some things to like about it, the fight scenes, the action scenes, except that it's very much in the 80, in his mid 80 late period style. Lots of ridiculous comedy, and the poor actor that had to play Fong Sayuk, Xiao Ho. But Gordon Liu does return as Sante, but doesn't get to do much. So it's just, yeah. And Lau Kar Lung is in the movie because nobody else probably wanted to work in it. So we start out. Sayak's mother has gotten him into school, and he's with the younger kids because he doesn't know how to read and write. He knows how to fight, but he doesn't know how to read and write, and he has no manners. No manners. So you see, he gets ink all over everyone's face. There's the Guanteng Jim, and there's his two brothers who have, in every movie I've seen of the Fong Sayuk, have been heretofore unmentioned. You didn't see him in with Fu Sheng, maybe in Avengers of Shaolin Avengers. There's one movie where it shows him with getting his body armor, his body conditioned to be, invulnerable to weapons, except for that one point. See Men from the Monastery. And then the school superintendent, and the superintendent's going to be pissed. And Fong's a jerk. I mean, he's very good at kung fu, but he's very bad at being a person. Z's openly challenging this guy. That is not the we're friends salute. He's got his hand open. The open hand is the sheath. The fist is the weapon. If it's closed, the hand is around there. This is a direct challenge when it's faced out like that, at least in Choi Li Fut. So you're asking to fight someone. You're not showing them respect, even though laymen might think you are. Yeah, it's a thing, but it's a thing. The guy keeps saying the food's awful because he's Manchurian, so he wants northern, and this is all southern food. And the brothers get punished. There's his mom. Just it's just the comedy is not funny. Xiao plays Sayuk as this arrogant, entitled jerk who never gets in any trouble. He accepts responsibility for everything, but he never gets in any trouble. But he's afraid of his mom because she wallops him around. So off we go here. This is one of the few outside shots from 1985. So somewhere they had some land at the Shaw Studios. And there is Sante himself, Gordon Lau, the master killer. Now, I guess if this would have been, you know, exported over here, I don't ever recall seeing this anytime on television because by 85, geez. But it was dubbed, so they thought would it have been retitled Disciples of the Master Killer? It was Return of the Master Killer for Return to the 36th Chamber. So Sayuk thinks that he's a Manchurian priest because he's nice to the Manchurians who were there. I don't even know what he's supposed to be doing. There's Lau Kar-lung himself, who is the Manchu chief, and all of his minions. They're dressed in yellow. They're fishing there, and Sante is just watching. He intervenes so that Sayuk doesn't get executed. But he's invulnerable. At least this one is. And see how her hand is closed? She's not challenging him. She's addressing him as an equal, though. So she talks to him, and now it's closed, so she's thankful. She's made a deal with him to get her bastard son under control. This is how bad he is. He has to be chained, or tied up, so that he can't, and he's locked in there, so he can't hassle the teacher. So now they go to the Qing Imperial Gymnasium of Kwantung. They're going to go see if they can challenge him and have some respect. So they slap. Look, a stooge slap. Woo, 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 woo. And unfortunately, since he can't really fight, he can still kick a lot. Now, Xiao Ho is incredibly athletic. He's jumping around and doing flips and looking amazing. And his kung fu's all right. I mean, it should be Hung Gar. I just can't figure out why they wrote him and directed him like this. I mean, did Lau Kar-lung not like Fong Sayuk? I don't know. He never did this to Hung Si Quan, as far as I know. Although, Executioners from Shaolin also is not one of my favorites. So he did kill Hung Si Quan right away in that movie. But he's smarter. The Manchu chief is smarter than Fong Sayuk. So, and a lot of his movies in these, like My Young Auntie and The Treasure Hunters and Dirty Ho, all involve fights with lots of people doing lots of things at the same time, balances. I just don't care for it. And the comedy is not good. It's the opposite of Jackie Chan, who, has some rough comedy patches as well in his early movies, the mugging and such. But Xiao Ho is not anyone that's played. He's the worst of the Fong Sayuks that I've ever seen. Meng Fei was the first one, and as soon as Fu Sheng got his Fong Sayuk out there, Meng Fei just copied him almost right away. And then Jet Li was pretty much the same. Let's see. Clan of the White Lotus has him in it. Oh, haven't seen that one either because, again, not one of my favorite ones. Five Shaolin Masters, that doesn't have, let's see, films. Oh, there's, early ones too. So, Meng Fei was in it. Fu Sheng was in several. So, and he was in, played by other people. And there have been television series, but, I don't blame the actor. He has to do what the writer and director, who happen to be the same person, tell him to do, right? So, there's his mom. And then finally she's had enough of all his nonsense and takes him to Shaolin. And the head priest is like, nope, not doing it. And but Sante takes over for him and his three brothers. They call him the rascal all the time instead of bastard. So of course the Manchus show up to get Sayuk, and she's like, "Nope, he's at Shaolin. Can't have him." And they're like, "Well, what do we do now?" So and so this is a fun battle, 1-on-1 between Lau Kar-lung and Lily Lee. She's like, "You have to split my legs apart in order to, and you can have my son, or you can have me as your wife." That's what they want. So there, he's like, she's in her, that's her Wing Chun stance, or it is a Wing Chun stance. It's also one from Choi Li Fut, probably Hungar as well, but he can't do it. I love him using his horse, geez, I've forgotten what that is. It's a bow stance, and can't do it. So he gives up. He's like, okay, you're good. Now we're back in Shaolin and jumping. So they give titles here, and he just runs right up because he's so good at kung fu. But he has no temperance. He has no mercy. He has no humility. He's very unhumble, unhumilified. And there's a lot of wire work in this movie. I'm not used to seeing that in a Shaw Brothers movie where they're just floating about. But great shots. I mean, he's still a good director. It's just I am astounded and confuzzled, confusticated and confused, befuddled. They all try to sneak out and get caught. So, and we see callbacks to the first movie quite a bit here, but without the, knives sticking out of their arms. But here, all the Shaolin stuff. Uh, and and again, he's really, but I think you can even see that's a wire attached to him because he's jumping about. So I don't know what his background is. Maybe, let's see here. Xiao Ho, let's see, still alive, still active. Education, Chinese opera school, so maybe trained in Beijing opera, Peking opera. Let's see. Yeah, Dirty Ho, Shaolin Mantis, 30 Heroes of the East. Shaolin, yeah, whatever he was. Mad Monkey Kung Fu, another one I don't care for. Yeah, a lot of these. I do like Martial Club, so we have reviewed it already. My Young Auntie, legendary. Let's not even get into that. Oh. So, yeah, those are bunches of movies that I've seen him in and didn't know. Again, I think it's the script and the direction more than him, but I don't care for his Fong Sayuk. Nice chair battle here between Sayuk and Sante, and then he decides to leave. He's figured a way out. There's a tunnel, gets it loose, and he goes off. And he visits the Manchus. No Han Chinese allowed. He doesn't jump up and kick it the way Bruce Lee did, but he lets them know he's there, and they're like, "Come on in." So he says, "We'll come back and we'll have you can be in our tournament." And he brings him proof that he was out. So now they're doing another water gag. And bloosh. See, I told you he's very athletic. And then he leaves again because he knows the way out. He doesn't have to go through the wooden men. So he has a fight. And he beats up everybody. He comes back. They give him a yellow robe because he's such a jerk. He's so stupid he doesn't even know his own history. But he confesses and he leaves. He's like, all right, I'm out of here. Goodbye. And he goes and reports back to the Manchu. He naively thinks that they can be friends by respecting each other's kung fu. Worthy idea, but how naive can you be? I wish I had better things to say about this movie. So he goes back and invites all his buddies because the Manchu are going to kill everyone. Sante finds them and off they go. And firecrackers, oh boy, those are bright outfits. Sante is infiltrated. I think he was dressed as the bride. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember how that happened or care to find out. So now we have all the Shaolin students against all the Manchus, and his mom is there too, and she looks great. There's not too much wire work here because they can't do it with that many people, but there's a lot of fighting. And he fights Sante for a while. Sayuk does, still trying to say, no, they're all right. Listen to me. You got to have faith, or whatever he says. But he gets poison spit at him, and now we have more fights. Sante uses a 4-sectional chain whip instead of his 3-sectional staff. What the hell? I mean, he does it really well. Now they're all friends again. They're trying to leave. I didn't know. And the movie only runs 93 minutes. So it's not long like the other two, nearly as long, and it felt like it went on forever. So lots of wire work. Now there's some more wire work, but nobody gets hurt really. Nobody even gets killed. Lots of there's the running across the water thing, and this guy. They find that there were some scenes I found funny. This one, oh, he's not going to want to get up in the morning. Sayek threatens to kill him. I think that is, I want to say that is Jason Paipao as the governor. And then he spits the poison back into his mouth. And he laughs like an idiot, like he's 4 years old. I mean, something's wrong with this Sayek. They all run out and leave. Then he pretends like he's still coming down from the poison. He tries it, but he's faking it. He tries to sneak out, and Sante finds him again at the end. That's how it ends. He never gets his comeuppance. He never, gets humiliated enough like Jackie Chan would always do. Look at almost all of his movies where he's arrogant and then gets humiliated, to quote Popeye, and has all he can stands and can't stands no more, and turns to the right side of the law. I'd have to give this one a C- at best. I mean, and that's being generous, just because of some of the fight scenes, and a lot of great shots. But it's just the character's so problematic. I don't know what we'll review next from Lau Kar Lung, but I hope it's better than this one. So, my fellow agents, until tomorrow, where we will be watching The Space Children, another Jack Arnold movie. This is X7 signing off and phasing out. And remember, I don't love every Shaw Brothers movie. All right. Be seeing you.
What does it look like?
I can't describe it. The hideous part of it is it's making the children obey its every command. The children are completely in its power.
And we're in the power of the children.
Space Children, spreading a network of terror through a top-secret missile base in a nation's desperate hour of decision. Space Children, the dangerous pawns of a power so strange that no sentries can stop them.
Why did you let those children inside here?
Dr. Woolman, what children?
Hey, this wrong with you. Stop it!
No rocket can rise anywhere in the world.
4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
No army can destroy them.
Get those kids out of there!